In 2007, a taxi driver slammed into a massive gray-furred creature that shattered his windshield before sprinting away on two legs. Now, officials told the public that it was just a tiny macaw monkey, but macaws don't cover your entire windshield, and they definitely don't turn and run like a man. In this episode, I'm exposing the Bukit-Timah cover-up, an 1879 phantom attack where a weapon passed straight through a being, and the telepathic apex predator of Wallasey Island. You won't want to miss this one. Late one evening in 2007, a 48-year-old taxi driver named Tan was driving down a dark, empty road that ran right along the edge of the Bukit-Timah Nature Reserve in Singapore. Now, at the time, Tan had been working all afternoon, he was exhausted, and he was really just looking for one last fare before going home. But as he drove down this dark road, he suddenly saw something moving up ahead, and it was caught right in the beam of his headlights, and he could see that there was this figure kind of just darting across the road directly into his lane. And so his stomach dropped because he saw that the figure was small. I mean, like, we're talking the size of a child. And so, trying to not make an impact, he slammed on the brakes, the tires, and he violently yanked the steering wheel to the side, desperately trying to swerve out of the way, but he was going too fast, and he felt the impact. It was this loud, heavy thud against the front bumper. I mean, the whole taxi shuddered from the impact, and he's just like, oh God. He instantly felt sick. He was convinced he had just hit a child, and he waited for the bump of the tires rolling over a body, but that didn't happen. And instead, this heavy figure kind of rolled right up onto the hood of his taxi, and as Tan is staring through the windshield, he hadn't hit a child at all. This thing was hairy and just massive and covered in thick gray fur. And so he froze as he's staring at this animal that slowly turned its head and looked right at him through the glass. And Tan saw that this thing had the face of a monkey, but it was way bigger than any monkey he had ever seen. And so it just stared at him with these wild eyes, just bared its teeth, and it snarled. And he was completely paralyzed. But before he could even react, it kind of shifted its weight, rolled off the hood onto the asphalt, and it was holding its arm at a very odd, unnatural angle, like it had been broken by the car. Now, as Tan is watching this, he expected it to drop down on all fours and kind of crawl off into the bushes, but it didn't do that. Instead, this huge gray furred thing stood straight up on two legs, just like a human being, and then it turned and it sprinted incredibly fast into the dark forest. Now, Tan didn't get out to assess the damage. He was too, overcome with adrenaline and just freaked out by what had just happened. And so he just sped away. And the entire time his hands are shaking on the wheels and he's trying to think like, what just happened? Now, you might think Tan was just exhausted and his mind was just taking him to a place that wasn't right.